Let's go. If you let people tell you can't do things and you believe in that, hey, cut that out, for real. Cut this up.
All right, what's going on, folks? Welcome to another exciting episode of Strong Arm Sports, the realest sport podcast in all the land.
True.
I'm KSpadeTheProspect.
I'm your boy LeParis57, and together we form Strong Arm Sports. Spade. What an action-packed week this has been, bro. Super Bowl, All-Star Weekend, everything was popping, right?
Indeed.
But we definitely got to go back to the Super Bowl, and I know you guys wanted to see a midweek show, but better late than never. Typical us, better late than never. We got to talk about the Super Bowl. Spade, I'm going to let you start because I know you got a lot of things to get off your chest.
I do.
So just let them know, Super Bowl, Panthers, Broncos, how do you feel about it? What did you see during the game?
It's crazy, man. It was a good Super Bowl, I guess. I mean, it was competitive. The score isn't very indicative of how that game was played. I kept feeling like the entire game, Carolina was one drive away from winning that game. Even when it was like third quarter, it was 16-10, and I kept feeling like Carolina was going to, make a play. Here's the thing, though, and I hate we didn't get a chance to bring this to you guys earlier because I had a lot of takes that was hot that I wanted to share, and it's kind of a week later.
Yeah.
It's NBA All-Star Weekend, and you guys don't really care. I just kind of want to say this, and then we can talk about some other things. But for one, man,
okay.
I really feel like the failure in this game doesn't belong on the shoulders of Cam Newton, or Mike Tolbert, who fumbled twice, or the receivers who dropped countless passes, or even the offensive linemen or the tackles that got their ass kicked repeatedly. This failure falls in the lap of Shula, the offensive coordinator, who never once mixed it up. I read somewhere they said that the Broncos said they had 2 weeks to prepare, and the Panthers came out and did exactly what they had prepared for. They didn't change anything.
Yeah.
In the article I was reading, they said that was, if I'm not mistaken, the word they used was arrogant of Carolina to come out and not change anything. And I disagree. I don't think it was arrogant at all. You do what got you there. But once you get there and you realize doing what got you there isn't going to get you through the game, you got to at least have a plan B. Did Shula not even have a plan B?
Right.
Did he never plan on making any adjustments? It was third and forever, and you still running this play action to Tolbert's big ass, and don't nobody expect Tolbert to get the ball, for one. And for two, they're not afraid of him if he do get the ball, because he's not fast enough to get away from anybody, and he really couldn't even hold on to the ball in that big of a stage. So to me, Shula hold that L for that loss. And, I hate all year I kept saying I don't think the Panthers are that talented.
You did.
I think that Cam Newton is willing these guys through these games. And somebody on here commented back to me about me saying that because they disagreed with me. Did you get on the big stage and everybody go, whoa, Cam ain't got no help? I've been telling y'all that. Those receivers are subpar. That offensive line is subpar. And when I saw Stewart get his ankle kind of tweaked early in the game, I was like, oh, my God. I don't know about this one. So, I don't know, man. I hate they didn't win it. But congratulations to the Broncos, man. That defense played tremendous. Peyton, retire.
Yeah,
hang him up, Peyton. Get out the game, bro.
Spade, I want to jump in. I want to just say, I agree with everything you said right there. But like you said, handing it to Tolbert, I mean, Tolbert is he's a big bruising back. But he don't have no breakaway speed. So they was like, we'll get him 5 yards and tackle that big dude. So I mean, I want to say I gotta give kudos to the Broncos defense and a player on the Carolina, Coney Ealy.
Coney.
I hope I'm saying your name right. That kid wanted it. Like,
that
kid played phenomenal, man. Him and Von Miller, it was like they was going back and forth. Like, you know what? I ain't about to let you outdo me. Him and Von was going at it. And I ain't talking about against each other. I mean defensively.
Right.
Like, it was Von for the Broncos, and it was Coney Ealy for the Panthers. Coney Ealy was coming off that edge like Von Miller was coming off his edge. It was just, I mean, if you a defensive dude, to see them dudes come off the edge like that, you looking like, man, like, as far as Carolina, Spade, we've been saying, I talk to Ted again every week on this show.
Every week.
Like, they wide receivers aren't it. Like,
however,
Spade, Go ahead.
And I know I've been taught when I played sports, I'm sure you've heard this. Anybody who's played sports, your coach probably told you, don't leave the game in the hands of the referee. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to do that. But to start that game off after the Carolina's first drive, that Kotry drop, man, come on, man.
I was just about to bring that up,
catch.
bro.
And if you give him that catch, maybe you don't get the Von Miller strip sack on Cam Newton, which makes it a 10-0 game. Get them officials the hell up out of here too, man. Y'all got one job. Do your job. You got all these cameras. You got 50,000 cameras zipping by on zip lines and instant replay and all this stuff, and you can't get the calls right. Get right. That was a catch.
But like you said, Spade, I mean, he a ref. He make a mistake too. Them receivers, when the ball hits you that square in the hand, you got to make them catches, man. That's what you get paid for. But you know what? They were in the Super Bowl, Spade, with Jericho Kotry, Philly Brown, and Ted Ginn as they starting wide receivers. Now, Demaryius Thomas came across the middle when Luke Kuechly hit Demaryius Thomas and Spade. I gotta say you was right, and I hate saying you was right, Spade. Demaryius Thomas is not an elite receiver, man. Once Luke Kuechly hit Demaryius Thomas, he disappeared, bro. He was no longer there. I don't know where he was at, but he wasn't in the Super Bowl, and it kind of reminded me of when the Seahawks got on that ass. But when Luke Kuechly hit Demaryius Thomas across that middle, I was like, GG. We ain't seeing nothing amazing from Demaryius tonight. Yeah. But Cam was it wasn't just that Kotry drop. It was a ton of drops. Cam was hitting his receivers. Cam had some overthrows. I think I read somewhere that Cam had 12 overthrows, the most overthrows in any Super Bowl ever. Of course, they bring these crazy stats out. Now they keeping track of overthrows. Right. But anyway, they said that Cam had 12. So he had some overthrows. He did have some bad passes. But the drops that I was seeing, and I mean, Carolina defense, they easily, in my opinion, Denver came right down the field on the first possession and was just driving. I was like, oh man, this looked pretty easy. But then they held them to 3. Like the Carolina defense, they played very well, man. They played well. And I mean, we wasn't expecting anything crazy from Peyton Manning anyway because of how Peyton Manning played during the season. But I was shocked that they gave up that many rushing yards to C.J. Anderson. That was something else. I was like, wow.
I think C.J.'s a good back, though. Me and Nate actually
he's a solid back. Yeah, but I mean, they was dealing with dudes like Freeman. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, they was dealing with guys like that. I mean, I didn't think C.J. Anderson would scare those guys. And then he probably didn't scare them. But, I mean, I think he had, like, 24-25 for, like, 96. Carries. Like, 25, 26 carries for 96 yards.
He had one one, too.
I was shocked at that.
That got those numbers.
I was shocked.
It was 3 passes that I want to talk about, that game changers. For one, the Jericho Kotry catch, the drop, whatever the hell you want to call it, that was one.
Yeah.
For 2, it was one, and if I'm not mistaken, I think this was Kotry as well. He had a funky route, kind of like I don't know.
No, not the out of bounds one. You ain't talking about the out of bounds.
I'm talking about the one where he was being guarded by Miller. He had Von Miller. A wide receiver supposed to eat a linebacker. As a wide receiver, you're supposed to eat a linebacker in man defense. You're supposed to destroy him. For one, he had like one step on Von, and then Cam zipped it in there, and he couldn't keep it. And then they said Cam threw it too hard. And then late in the game, it was one to Ted Ginn, where I think it was Bradley Roby definitely got there before the pass. Like he was up under his arm. He had him in the full Nelson rack. I thought it was a damn wrestling move. It was definitely some plays that the receivers could have helped Cam out on, and it was some that I don't know.
Wait, I got another one. It was one when Ted Ginn went across the field.
The one
and Cam. I mean, this was the first time they really hooked up, and Ted Ginn chose to run out of bounds. He didn't cut back.
Yeah,
and he didn't try and cut back and make a move to try and get go back to the wide side of the field. He just ran out of bounds. Like, I guess he figured we're gonna score. Let me just go out of bounds.
I mean, he was there. When he caught the ball, he made up his mind. Cheerleader number 3, I'm on the way to you. And he just beeline right to her. Philly Brown made an amazing catch, bumped his head on the turf, and concussion protocol took him out of the game. me and my
Yeah.
group of friends who was watching the Super Bowl in my house, we was wondering why Demarius didn't get concussion protocol, because I don't think Demarius knew where the hell he was at after Kuechly drove him into the turf. I guess, man, we got to talk about the post-game interview. That made a lot of headlines.
But wait, I know you want to get this, babe, but before you go there, let's talk about the fumble with Cam. I want to get your thoughts on the fumble, because I didn't really get your thoughts on that. When Cam fumbled, and they said that he kind of could have got it, but he kind of held back. What do you think about that?
I think he could have got it. I don't blame him for not diving in there. Like, everybody was saying he should have dove in there. You know, it's a lot of armchair quarterbacks at home saying, yeah, I would have dove. But I mean, if Cam in that moment, if he didn't feel like he could get it, or if he didn't feel like he could get it safely, I mean, that man looking through the peripheral of a football helmet. People forget that too. Like, with a football helmet on, it ain't like you just walking around everyday life. So when he looked at it, whatever he saw, if he felt like he couldn't get it, I believe him. I don't believe Cam is scared of contact. This man run up and down the field, run into DBs, run into linebackers, and jump over piles every week. So it ain't like he's afraid of contact. Whatever he saw, if it made him feel like he couldn't get it or it wasn't safe to get it, hey, I believe it. And I don't think that's what lost in the damn game. Like, the game was lost whether he dived down there and get that fumble back or not. So I see a lot of people saying, oh, Cam's a bitch. He didn't dive into Von Miller or whoever the hell was that. Like, I don't think that changes the outcome of that game at all. Because even if he get it back, they was going to call a dumbass play action to Tolbert and then a pass to a receiver that wasn't going to catch it anyway. So it doesn't matter. It's a non-factor to me.
I agree. I agree, man. And I mean, I get people. I mean, me being a football player, I'm like, this is the Super Bowl. You leave it all on the field, and I ain't saying Cam didn't. A lot of people were saying Cam quit, and man, this is the biggest game of your life. I just think you got to leave it all on the field. I would have preferred Cam to dive on the ball. He explained why he didn't. I mean, hindsight is 20/20 now. I mean, you figure if they had the lead and he didn't dive on the ball and they still won, we'll be laughing at that. But you know, because they was losing at that stage of the game, I think it was late in the fourth quarter. I think even if he would have recovered, it still would have been like fourth and forever. So they probably either would have went for it or punted. So either way, the other team was getting the ball back. But if they did punt, at least Denver would have had a tougher time going against that defense.
That's true.
I would have preferred Cam to go, but I would have preferred Cam to dive on the ball. But if they knew they was going, if Cam knew in his mind, well, we going for it on fourth down, and more than likely we ain't going to get it, I see his point. I don't know. But let's touch on the post game.
Since you went back, now I got to go back. I'm going to tell you the big difference in this game. And I hate to do this because I know we dragging this out, and it's week-old news at this point. But the Carolina Panthers lost that game on first down. You kept putting Cam in third and long situations in known passing downs. And then if you're going to put your quarterback in a known passing situation repeatedly, put him in the gun and let him make quick reads and something. I hate a play action on third and long. On third and long, if you got a legitimate running threat, the play action slows up the blitz. And this is, I'm assuming that everybody may not know this. You know what I'm saying? Some of you do, some of you don't. Somebody might even know sports and disagree with me. But if you got a legitimate running threat, the play action slows up the blitz. It makes the defensive lineman for a split second, or the linebacker if he's blitzing, for a split second say, wait a minute, who's got the ball? And that delay helps you. But if the defense knows it's a passing down, the play action only delays the quarterback actually dropping back and looking downfield. When you got two guys head hunting off the edge, that play action on 3rd and 12 to Tolbert is stupid. Don't call a play action on 3rd and 12 to Tolbert with Von Miller and DeMarcus Ware pinning their ears back. That's just dumb. That's dumb. Yeah. If I'm Cam and you calling them types of plays,
especially when it's notoriously known that Cam is bad on 3rd and long. It's notoriously long. He's been bad on 3rd and long all year. Right. Like, they broke it down. They know. So come on, man. The game plan had to be better. It's my last point, and then we could definitely move on. Bruh, what was with the wide receivers screen throwback to Cam? Like, this is, I don't understand, man. What were they thinking? Like, to me, I think that might have been first or second down. They ran that, and that put them in a hole. It was like
that was a second down play
after that.
It was such a badly designed. For one, it's a play
man.
Carolina don't run. So, okay, they tried something new. Try something new on first down. Try something new in a favorable position on the field. Not on 2nd and 10 or 2nd and 8. If I'm not mistaken, I believe it was 2nd and 8 on that play. And then you put him in 3rd and long with that play. I just, golly, man. Shula, hold that L, dog. Let's talk the interview. Folks, if you guys was here last week we had our first ever live show. It was a blast to do. We're going to do more of those. It was a lengthy show. For one, because we had so many people on it. And for two, because it was no post-show edit. Anytime me and LaParis do this show, we go back post-show and we do some edit. We cut some things out. When you're watching in real time, we're just flowing. And it's a lot of stuff to talk about. So if the shows get a little longer, all I can tell you, if you can't finish it in one ride to work, pick it back up Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? 2-3 days in a row. Check us out, man. This is good stuff. But LaParis, let's talk a little bit about the post-game press conference with Cam Newton. People made a really, really big deal about that. Give me your opinions on it.
Man, first of all, I understand, man. I understand. But Cam got to know this, man. And I know in the heat of the moment, right after losing the biggest game of your life, man, I know you upset, you angry. I don't know, like, it's probably so many emotions running through you that you know, some people just can't take it. But Cam gotta realize in this spot, yo, I can't do that. I gotta answer these questions because people they're gonna kill you, Cam. And it didn't change my opinion of Cam. It didn't change my opinion, but just the scrutiny that I knew was gonna. Spade, we talked about this off camera. We said they're gonna kill Cam to the draft. They're gonna talk about Cam to the draft. How he got a bad attitude, he not a good team. Like, they're gonna kill him to the draft. So Cam gotta realize that. Like, if we know that, I'm pretty sure he know that. It's kind of the same thing. It's kind of the same. I compared it to the same thing as Obama, not to that extent, but just Obama being, the first, quote unquote African American president. A lot of things they was doing a lot of things to add, poke Obama. They was just poking Obama. It was a lady wagging her hand in Obama's face. Nobody never did that to a president. And Obama know if I clap back, it's going down. Like, it's just going to be, look at this guy. And Cam got to realize that too, man. So I don't want to say eat crow, but sometimes, Cam, you just got to sit there and eat crow, answer the questions best of your ability, and then try and get out of there as soon as possible, man. Okay. I don't like it, Spade, but I understand why he did it, man. You lost the biggest game of your career, man. That gotta hurt.
Okay, this is what I'll say. No, I'm serious. I would like to see Cam. Cam is Cam. I can't make Cam answer the questions like Spade would answer the questions. I would have came in there and said, you know what? Kudos to the Broncos. They won. Today, they was the better team. We had an amazing season. I'm going to dedicate this offseason to getting back. Dab. And I'd have left. Technically, Cam was required to give 30 seconds. And he walked out in like 29 and a half seconds. So let's say he gave him 30 seconds. I'm also seeing a lot of people say he only gave one-word answers. That's actually not true. He gave a lot of one-word answers, but he gave the soundbite of the night. He said too many overthrown passes, too many drop passes. We didn't block good. He gave the soundbite that everybody wanted. He basically told you in every facet of the game that they got beat. He gave that. As far as him leaving because he could hear Chris Harris Jr. saying, our game plan was to make you throw. I mean, can you throw the ball? Yeah, that would have got to me. But, in a perfect world, man, in a perfect world, it would have went a different way. I'm not that upset with him, though. And I know somebody going to say it's because I'm biased. I'm a Cam fan. He from Atlanta, all that other good stuff. And that might be somewhat true. But let's face it. We've seen post-game interviews way worse than this. We've seen we've seen a certain Super Bowl winning quarterback lose and walk off the field without even shaking hands with the other team. This man, after that crushing defeat, went and found Peyton and congratulated Peyton on his win. We've seen way worse. I would much rather, and I heard somebody else say this, so I will back this person's statement. I'd much rather hear Cam give the soundbite. Too many overthrown passes, drop passes. We didn't block well. We didn't do this well. We didn't do this well. And they was the better team. And walk out than for him to sit there and get so upset that he go, if my receivers could catch, if my tackles could block, which is what he wanted to say probably. And he didn't do that, man. I don't think it's that big a deal. It is what it is, man. Carolina had an amazing season. The sad part about it that I'm going to say here on the air, I don't think it's a chance in hell this team gets back to the Super Bowl. Sorry to say it, y'all. I don't think this team was very good to begin with. I think they was willed there by a tremendous defense and an offensive MVP in Cam Newton. As a team, especially on the offensive side of the ball, I do not think this team is that talented. I don't think they make it back.
They got to get them a lot more help. They got to get them better tackles. Definitely better wide receivers. I like G-Reg. You know, we G-Spade. G-Reg from the U, but he's from Jersey. So you know I rock with G-Reg. Him being the Kane and all. I rocks with G-Reg. But to me, if you're tight end, leading you in receivers, I mean, aside from Grunk, like G-Reg and Grunk, they need Patriots, same thing. They need better wide receivers. Edelman was a little banged up. I like Edelman. But they got to get Cam some better help, man.
Yep.
I don't know if they can talk Calvin out of retirement for some type of trade or something, but if they could get Calvin out there, that'll help. I don't know if the Panthers like breaking bread. Something up with the Panthers, but they gotta get that man some help.
It's on me. Well, I want to talk about the NBA All-Star. It is NBA All-Star weekend. Woo! Year after year, we tune in. Most years we be disappointed. So far this year, I am not disappointed. LaPez, I'm gonna let you just go at it, man. What's the thing that entertain you the most about NBA All-Star Weekend thus far, folks? It is Saturday night. We have not seen the actual All-Star game yet.
Let me tell you something. We have got to get the dunk contest out of the three-point contest. I mean, out of the All-Star festivities. Let's get the dunk contest out of here. Let's just play horse. Get the dunk contest out. Man, the dunk contest has been so... You looking forward to the dunk contest?
I wasn't, but I was thoroughly entertained tonight.
Spade.
I was.
I just don't think it lost some of its luster, man. To me, it ain't the same. I think they need to play horse. And I know people want to kill me because a lot of people are saying this is the best crap ever. Come on, man. Not in my opinion, man. I don't even like. I like the skills challenge. Let me start there. I like the skills challenge. You know what? You don't want to know what I don't like? I don't like that they have them both on the court at the same time. Then, like, you clearly seen Clarkson waiting for the other guy to take the layup. Like, it's just in the way. Let one person go at a time. Let's take it back to there. The 3-point contest, which I think, especially with the way the NBA is right now, that is the highlight of the evening, in my opinion. I mean,
it was dope.
It's the highlight of the evening, in my opinion. That should be last. If they want to keep the dunk contest, put the dunk contest before. I'm pretty sure. Man, I seen some dunks that I liked, and I think old boy got robbed. I think he got robbed.
He did,
but I don't know, man. I'm just not a fan of the dunk contest. They gave it to Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine, who can jump. We already know Zach can jump out the gym and glide from the free throw line. And even Gordon actually said that he lost the dunk contest tonight because LaVine jumped from the free throw line and went between the legs. Which, man, these dudes got hands. They got huge hands. They can palm a basketball. He jumped from the free throw line and put the ball between his legs. To me, it wasn't better than the dunks that Gordon did. Zach LaVine was the favorite. They did kind of, I don't want to say they brought the dunk contest back because the other dudes that was in it was terrible. So I can't say that them two guys brought the dunk contest back. What I can say was their little segment was very entertaining. It was very entertaining.
It was.
But does that mean the dunk contest is back? We thought the dunk contest was back with Vince. We thought the dunk contest was back with who just won it? Blake Griffin when he jumped over the car and did all that.
No, we didn't think it was back.
Bro, they were saying it was back, Spade. They were saying it was back. They were saying it was back. I'm telling you, man. Like Zach LaVine going not going to enter. I'm not saying next year because he's still a young guy. But once Zach LaVine stopped and Gordon stopped. I mean, it's gonna be trash again, man. So I don't have to answer, man. I was entertained. I actually tweeted that All-Star Weekend used to be a big deal when I was a kid, but to me now being older, it kind of lost some of his luster. Zach LaVine goes between the leg and behind the back all the time, and people like, this is the most phenomenal dunk ever. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I'm gonna say this. I guess some of what you're saying I can agree with. What happens is this: you and I, man, we in our 30s. We've seen every dunk. We've seen this. Man, there's some 12-year-old kid out there losing his mind right now. Did somebody just jump from the free throw line? Oh, my God. I got a chance to see a white dude dunk from the free throw line. Brent Barry jumped from the free throw line. I've seen free throw line dunks. You know, I mean, and yeah, he went through the legs, but I mean, you in the air from the free throw line to the rim, you got time to do shit.
I get it.
You got time to do shit while you up there. So I guess you can go through the legs. For me, I was impressed. I have notoriously been hard on the slam dunk contest.
Impressed? You were impressed.
I was
what
impressed.
What about the other dudes, Spade? Like
those dudes. Hey, Drummond had an okay dunk. Drummond had an okay dunk, but all in all, I will say this: if you look at professional sports, the NBA All-Star festivities kick all the other sports All-Star festivities ass all across the street. The Pro Bowl is trash. The only thing I think people care about in the league is the home run derby. I don't think people really care. And they even found a way to make the MLB found a way to make their All-Star game matter. And people still don't really care. Not that I know. I mean, if I'm wrong, y'all let me know. And I don't even know or care what they do in hockey. They got a skills challenge or something over there. Ain't nobody really tuning in to that. But I think that NBA All-Star Weekend is the most exciting All-Star in all the sports. The skills challenge was dope. The little celebrity joint was okay. The slam dunk contest was better this year than it's been in a very long time. And the three-point contest was straight up lit. Now, we'll say this, NBA. The little reality show intros before the dunks, get that out of here. Get that. I've got 3 brothers, and they used to fight me when I was little. And that's how, get that out of here. Nobody cares about that. I don't want to see people coming out like Thriller. Just come out and dunk. Sit your ass down. I don't want to see none of that other stuff. But I'll tell you what was dope. Go ahead.
I was going to say that. I'm going to tell you what I was more impressed with the Gordon Levine part and what attracted it so much. These guys was making the first dunks. All that. It takes the excitement away once you start missing 2-3 times. Like Levine and Gordon was out there making dunks up and they was banging them joints. And I was like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, once you miss 2-3, and Spade, we grew up with dudes when we seen D Brown, basically it was kind of like the first dab. He put his head down there. He made the dunk. You know what I mean? Cedric Sabalas blindfolded. I think Sabalas could see the rim, but I mean, he made the first dunk.
Cedric Sabalas' dunk was cheeks. D Brown, I guarantee you, D was looking under his arm just like this right here. D could see.
That's cool, but did he make it? Did he
make it?
Both
of those dunks was trash.
Spade, did he make it?
I hope he did make it. He was looking right at the damn goal.
Spade.
Yeah, he made it.
But my point is, when J.R. Ryder and Harold Miner and all these they didn't miss 2-3 times to take the lure away from the dunk. If I'm not
mistaken, I think if you miss 2, I think you got 3 chances. So if you miss 2, you had to just do something basic to make a dunk. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, man. I mean,
I'll tell you what.
Will Barton, who I thought actually probably had a shot, he went out there and then what's the name, brought out Steve Nash, and Steve Nash was, I'm like, oh my God, what are we doing here?
But
what are we doing here?
In all fairness, the Drummond dunk with Steve Nash was pretty good. It was a pretty nice windmill. I still think Steve Nash did the most difficult part of that whole dunk, but that was a pretty nice dunk. And the first dunk that Barton did was a pretty damn nice dunk that they gave 9s across the board. The judging is very inconsistent, but it always has been.
Please get the judging out
Aaron
of there,
Gordon
man.
jumped over a 7-foot mascot on a Segway with his feet forward and lost. Man. That's the tragedy of the night.
Gordon was in his bag, Spade. Gordon came to play.
That's the tragedy of the night. And I know that Zach LaVine is the fan favorite, but Aaron Gordon won the slam dunk contest.
I agree.
What else we got, bro?
I agree with that. And one more point, Spade. One more point. NBA, you're in Toronto. Drake is right there. Drake is right there. Who was the dude? How you in Toronto? How are you in Toronto? Got Drake hosting a. You guys always don't shy away from showing Drake on the camera, and you don't have Drake perform for his song or the Weeknd or somebody aside from these dudes, this band from Indiana. How you in Toronto got an artist from Toronto right there, and you let a dude from a band from Indiana perform? Come on, NBA, do better. If y'all need a marketing dude, holla at me, man, because that's terrible marketing right there. Spade. If they would have allowed Drake or somebody from Toronto to perform, it would have shut it down. And it don't even got to be somebody that I know. Anybody from Toronto that they pick that they know up there would have shut it down.
I ain't gonna say anybody, but I'd have took Drake or Bieber. I'd have took Bieber.
Yeah, it was called my God.
Bieber could have went back to baby, baby, baby. It would have been better than shut up.
For real, man. But you ready?
Yeah. What else we got?
Let's move on, man. So we're going kind of talk about the New York Knicks. They kind of let somebody go, and no, it wasn't a follow, it wasn't Melo. It was actually Derek Fisher. Look at Phil Jackson out there making some tough decisions, and I know that was a tough decision because I know he loved Derek Fisher. Derek Fisher helped Phil Jackson win a lot of championships in Los Angeles, and he had to make a tough decision and fire Derek Fisher. Spade, what do you think about this move?
I don't get it. I just don't get it. The report said it was a, doing quotes over here, disconnect. I don't know. I mean, for one, Derek and his team, I can't give Derek all the credit, but the team looks way better than last year, so he's showing progression. He's in his second year. I think they gave him a 4-year deal, if I'm not mistaken. He's in his second year. It was before the All-Star break. The team looks better than last year, and then you don't have a candidate to replace him. You cannot convince me you think Rambis is it. You don't think Kurt Rambis is going to come in and just turn the team around. So I don't get it. To me, if it was somebody out there that Phil was like, this guy is what we need, then I get it. But, I mean, they didn't bring nobody in. I thought they was calling Tibbs. I know you hearing what I'm hearing.
I know you hearing what I'm hearing. Who the replacement
I thought they was going after Tibbs.
Nah, I'm hearing old boy in Golden State, man.
Oh, yeah, I did hear that as well. I did hear Luke Walton.
But let me tell you what I think. I think a lot of this have to do with Derek Fisher coming out. I think over the past week or either this past week or the week before last, he said, it's not a failure if we don't make the playoffs. Derek, you cannot say that, bruh. You cannot say that, man. And when Phil heard that, he was like, what? On top of all the crap with Matt Barnes that went on off the court, Derek Fisher come out and was like, oh, well, if we don't make the playoffs, it's not a failure. Yes, it is. It's a failure.
I don't think it's a failure.
You don't?
No, I don't.
In the Eastern Conference, Spade?
I get all that, but you don't realistically expect an overnight success. You took a team that didn't even win 20 games last year. They already got more than 20 wins this year. This year already can't be a failure. It's better than last year. Playoffs, you come back in the third year and then you build on that. Every year you get better. And I felt like he was doing that. Who's to say they ain't gonna make the damn playoffs though? But they was already. I don't know.
I'm looking at the camera funny because you a funny dude, bro. You want to know why?
Why? I'm very serious right now. This is not funny
because
stuff.
You were saying they gotta get rid of Chip Kelly. You said they gotta get rid of Chip Kelly, but you saying that the Knicks gotta keep Fisher? The same argument I was making for Chip Kelly.
Chip was going the wrong way.
No, he wasn't.
Was going the wrong way.
Chip only had 1 year with his people, Spade. The same argument I was making for Chip.
Chip moved too slow. Chip was going the wrong damn way, bro. You can't come in and win.
Spade.
I don't know what he won. You can't come in and win
you didn't give him
and the next year win 6 and the next year win 4. You going the wrong damn way. You got to go.
Nah,
Chip
Spade.
got to go.
Nah, Spade. It's the same thing, man.
No, it ain't.
He finally transitioned to his people.
Bro,
he had 1 year with his people.
Look, Derek came in without his people. No, I'm going to tell you the difference. Derek came in without his people and didn't win 20 games. And the next year, he's doing better. He got an up arrow. Chip had a down arrow. You can't compare them, dog. I don't care who people Chip had.
Spade.
Chip came in winning more games than he had leaving.
Them wasn't his people, though. Them wasn't his people. They gave him control of the team. They gave him control of the team to implement his scheme with his people. He had 1 year with his people.
Bro, if your people got you less wins than the other man people, you doing something wrong anyway. Chip gotta go. Chip was going the wrong way. Simple as that. If you come in with this man people and you winning more games than you are with your people, I don't want you or your people. Go. He gotta go. What else we got, bro? We're moving forward.
It's on you.
The Los Angeles Clippers said before the league dropped the hammer down on their star forward Blake Griffin, they gonna drop the hammer themselves. And they said whenever Blake get healthy from his injury, we're gonna suspend Blake 4 games for beating up our equipment manager, breaking his... Hell, I don't know. If he won the fight, even if he threw all the punches, if he the one hurt from it, you lost. How you feel about this, man? You like what the Clippers doing? You think it's... harsh?
I definitely think they had to do something. Nah, I think they had to do something. Word on the street is Blake hit the dude in the face.
Right.
5 to 8 times. 5 to 8 times. Blake about 6'10", 280 pounds, and he hit that little equipment manager in the face 5 to 8 times. That's absurd. The Clippers got to do something. You cannot have that type of crap. I don't know what the heck was going on. I don't know what it was about or anything, but Clippers got to do something. So I think 4 games is fair, man. 4 games is fair, man. That's all I got. I think 4 games is fair.
You think the league put anything on top of it? Let me ask you this. Do you think the league should put?
No. The Clippers handled it in-house. I like that. 4 games, I think that's fair. He already injured, hurting his team, not playing. Well, not really hurting his team, but not playing with his team anyway. So an additional 4 games when he come back from injury, I think that's fair, man. I think that's fair.
I agree. And Blake, mix it up. Go right, left. Don't put all that strain on one hand. You won't get nothing broke.
Blake,
what else we got,
Blake
bro?
Beat that little dude down, man. But man, we running long with Spade. This is gonna be a long show, bro. Because it's some more big news that happened, man. The trade deadline is right around the corner, and it's a lot of rumors out there. So I gotta pick my phone up, Spade. Because let me just run this trade scenario down for you. So the Knicks, Cavs, and Celtics has been in discussion, and one of the discussions that these guys are having, a blockbuster trade to send Melo to Cleveland, Kevin Love to Boston, and picks and players to New York. Now this is just a rumor. It hasn't happened. We know that. Also, Spade, you want to talk about that trade first, and then want me to continue, or you want me to just run it all down?
Well, let's go ahead and shoot that one down. LeBron just turned up in an interview about Cam Newton calling him a power forward. How he's not a power forward. He's got no interest in being a power forward. So why the hell would you put him and Melo in the same? I mean, who gonna be a power forward there? I don't feel like that makes the Cavs better at all. If the Cavs are trying to get better, that's not how to do it. We shoot that down. What else you got?
And I mean, Love the boss. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. And Phil trading Melo, like, what?
Like Melo ain't got a no trade clause.
You just said they was the wave. I don't know, man. Anyway, it's another rumor going around. Jimmy Butler, potential, that the Bulls offered Jimmy Butler to Orlando for Oladipo. When I seen this, I was like, oh, hell no, they want to trade Jimmy. They trading the wrong guard until I heard for what? They offered Jimmy Butler to Orlando for Oladipo, Vucevic, and a first-round pick. So when I seen that, I'm like, oh, yeah, pull the trigger right now. Let's make that happen. But what do you think about that trade? Of course, all this is speculation. They said that Orlando was like, hell nah, we don't want that. They turned it down. Yeah. What do you think about that, though?
Yeah, if I'm Orlando, that's a bad deal. I mean, for one, don't get me wrong, I like Jimmy. Jimmy's been playing very well. I still think Jimmy's a little inconsistent as a guy to lead a team, for one, and for two, man, that's giving up way too much. Victor's got a pretty high ceiling. We got to wait and see where Victor going to be. I think that's a bad deal for Orlando.
And I love Vooch. I think if the Bulls was able to get Vooch, Oladipo for Jimmy, I think you got to pull that trigger if Orlando was willing to.
You got Vooch already. His name is Pau Gasol.
Nah, he could. We need to trade him too. Don't get me started on my Bulls, man, because we actually trading the wrong guard. They trying to trade Jimmy. They need to be trying to trade Rose. I see you, Shy. But they need to try and trade Rose. For real. But anyway, another potential trade, man. So the Rockets have been struggling. We know they fired their coach. Bickerstaff struggling, said that the team is out of sync, and Dwight, went on a post-game rant and said, we can't say this type of things. We got to focus on the positive. So him, James Harden, and Bickerstaff And I think I want to say that the GM name is Moore. I'm pretty sure it's Moore. I know somebody going to correct me in the comment section down below. But they had a long overnight, like a long meeting after a game. And after that meeting, I don't know what was said, but the next day, the Rockets said, we are taking inquiries for Dwight Howard services. They trying to trade Dwight. Spade, do anybody want Dwight Howard? Should they trade Dwight Howard? Is actually a rumor. Dwight for Boogie? If you sack, do you do that? Come on, Zach.
I mean, if you do, you stupid. That's just dumb.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's just dumb. That's dumb. For one, that's just dumb. I'm sorry, man. I'm shooting all these trade rumors down. I had heard something about Atlanta was trying to shop Teague to Orlando.
Yeah, man. I mean, there's so many. I think the trade deadline is going to be on fire this year. I don't know what's going to happen. But if
I'm gonna tell you what I think.
Go ahead.
I think when the NBA trade deadline approaches, GMs go, "Oh, we gotta make a move," and they just start looking at all these possible scenarios, and everybody gets all hyped. And then at the end of the day, it's like one or two trades. Like before this thing is over, it'll be a couple of trades. I don't think any of these blockbuster deals actually happen because most of them don't make sense for at least one of the teams. Some of them don't make sense for either team. So I don't think much of this stuff ever come to fruition. I don't think so.
I mean, it's fun to talk about, though. But let's have a little fun. Let's have a little fun with you guys. In the comment section down below, what blockbuster trade do you want to happen? One, and what blockbuster trade do you think will happen? Let's talk about it in the comment section down below. We're going to see what you guys write. That's going to be a little bit of fun, man. So we can move on if you're ready.
All right, man. Let's talk about a little bit of NFL news. There's not much after the Super Bowl, but in what I found to be a tad bit shocking, Matt Forte came out on social media and said, despite my wishes to stay here, my tenure with the Chicago Bears is over. You know, they're not going to re-sign him and not picking him up. And everybody was kind of like, whoa. Like, in case you don't know, Matt Forte is the third all-time rusher in Bears history behind Gale Sayers and Walter Payton. I think he's been there like 8 seasons. He's got about 9,000 rushing yards in those 8 seasons, and he has been the most consistent thing in a Bears uniform. He really has. I don't know. Everybody was saying like, damn, the Bears are super disloyal to let this guy go, but I'm thinking they might be doing Matt Forte a favor. Matt, you don't want to be there. Go somewhere where football is fun. It can't be fun in Chicago. You guys get your butts kicked a lot. And you got Jay Cutler for a quarterback. Go somewhere and have fun, man. How you feel about this, LaParis?
You know what's crazy is I didn't even know you was going to say that. But I was going to say, I think they're doing Forte a favor. There's rumors out there that he may go to the Packers or the Patriots. And I think he actually fit both of those teams. They both, like dumping it to the running back. I mean, he's a phenomenal back with catching out, pass catching out of the backfield. He actually fits Green Bay and or New England system. Like, New England love passing to the backside the backfield. That's what they do. So, I mean, I actually could think they doing them a favor too. But one thing, this is why I don't have a problem with players holding out, trying to get their money and everything, man. Matt Forte, the people Matt Forte have played with, it's not even a question that dude is the best. He's been the best Bear for the last 9-10 years, however long he was there. Yeah. He's been the best player. But aside from Urlacher, him and Matt Forte have been the best Bears. Man, Matt Forte played with Rex Grossman and Jimmy Clausen. Jay Cutler. Like, the list goes on. And Matt Forte still put up a crazy amount of numbers. I mean, they didn't want to pay him. Just Matt Forte, I agree with you, Spade, 100%. Go have some fun. Go play on a good team and go try and get you a Super Bowl and get your money at the same damn time. Matt Forte may have a good, maybe what? I mean, is he 30 yet? Is he 30?
I'm pretty sure he is.
He may be, if he's not 30, he may be close to turning 30. I say he got a good 3-4 years left to go be productive in a system, especially like a New England, where they're going to split the carries anyway, and a system like Green Bay, I think it's a great fit. Matt Forte, go compete and get some dubs, man. You deserve it. Before we move on, Spade, let me jump in here real quick. Before we move on and end the show, Gotta give a shout out to Marshawn Lynch. Marshawn Lynch, in typical Marshawn Lynch fashion, with not saying much. You know, Marshawn Lynch ain't a talker. Marshawn Lynch threw his cleats up on a, hanging up his cleats, threw him on a little wire by his house or wherever he threw him at, and put up the do sign. And basically, people took that as Marshawn Lynch saying he's retiring. So kudos to Marshawn Lynch. Thank you for some amazing football runs and moments, man. It was the run that shook up the world, man. And Marshawn Lynch, it's a topic for another conversation. I don't want to have it on this show. Is Marshawn Lynch a Hall of Famer? We ain't going to talk about it on this show, but it's a topic for definitely another show. But just cool as ice, bro. How dope is that to retire like that, yo? Didn't even say I retire. You just seen his teammates saying, yo, thank you for, being my teammate and everything, man. Kudos to Marshawn Lynch, man. That was dope.
He did it during the Super Bowl, bro.
Yeah, I like it.
He kind of hated on the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I like it, man. Yeah. I like it. It was pretty dope, man. I like Marshawn Lynch, man. He just chucked his cleats up there and chucked the deuces, man. That's dope. That's dope. You got anything to add about Marshawn Lynch, or you straight?
Nah, Marshawn, hell of a career. I found it funny. They were saying that no Seahawks was trying to talk Marshawn out of retirement. Found that a little odd. Everybody was like, hey, it's been great. It's been real. But no, he had a hell of a season. Hell of a career, Let's go ahead and take him home, bro. We've had a good long show, man. Let's go ahead and give out this very prestigious award that we like to call the Strong Arm Performer of the Week. You on the hot seat, LaParis. Who you got?
Oh, it's easy. I got to give mine to Isaiah Thomas. Played against the Clippers on this past Tuesday. And him and Chris Paul was actually going at it, man. They was going at it. And the crazy thing is, if you guys don't know who Isaiah Thomas is, he's the little all-star in miniature stature. And, he plays bigger than his body. Like, Isaiah Thomas gets it in when it comes to basketball. And Isaiah Thomas went 12 and 21. He had 36 points and 11 dimes in a tough overtime win over the Clippers. So for that reason right there, Isaiah Thomas, you are my strong arm performer of the week. Isaiah Thomas.
Pretty good. Who he beat? The Clippers?
Chris Paul was going at it, man.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm giving my strong arm performer of the week to the big
James
cat. Karl-Anthony Towns. Let me tell you what this guy did. First of all, in a big game against the Toronto Raptors, who had been kicking ass and taking names. Coming into this game, Toronto had won 14 of their last 15 games. The big cat went out to the tune of 35 points, 11 boards, and 3 blocks to stop Toronto's hot streak. Put them in the full headlock. So for that performance right there, Karl-Anthony Towns, you are my strong arm performer of the week. 35 big ones.
You know where you from?
America, right? The United States.
Jersey, baby, from New Jersey. Shout out, I'm good with Karl-Anthony Towns. That's my guy. He's from Jersey.
He must not be. You didn't give him the award.
I was going to give it to him for you didn't mention that he won the skills challenge as well. He won that too. So he's a big man that can do it all. He got skills.
And he got skills. Well, he didn't beat him, but yeah, technically he did. He beat your strong arm performer of the week.
Yeah, Isaiah Thomas. That's pretty dope. We ain't even discussed that. That's pretty dope. But anyway, yeah, man, it's been a great show, action-packed show, a very lengthy show. We hope you guys appreciate that, man. Some of you guys be like, man, we don't care how long it is. Once y'all start, just keep going. We don't care. So we want to thank you guys for that, man. As usual, we got audio pod. If you don't want to see our mugshot, we got audio podcasts everywhere. SoundCloud, UPodOmatic, iTunes, we everywhere, man. As usual, we want to thank you guys for watching the show, tuning in, leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you new here, hit the subscribe button. It's up there. If you're a regular here, hit the like button. It takes 2 seconds. Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below about every topic. Maybe we was wrong, maybe we was right, maybe you agree, maybe you disagree. Whichever way you choose, let us know down there. We're gonna be in them comments. Spade. Great show, bro. It was been an action-packed week, man. We want to thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys next episode. Peace.